안녕하십니까 덕저 여러분. 익숙한 저만 불편한 희망 책 쓰는 작가 다니엘 튜더라고 합니다. It's basically a book about Korean politics, but the main premise is to say that I think Korean democracy is disappearing, and that Korea will be like a one-party country like Japan, and already is that kind of country now. I think the reason for that, well, there are several reasons for that, but I think first is the existing government has, I think, quite an authoritarian mindset, and freedom of the press and freedom of speech are slowly disappearing in Korea. But also, at the same time, the opposition party, the main opposition party, has really no ability to win elections. So I think that there needs to be some kind of new opposition force in the next 5 years. Otherwise, Korean democracy, I think, will basically be a disappearing thing. Well, I used to work here as a journalist, and of course I would write a lot about Korean politics, and there were certain things that I thought, well, I really want to write about, like, at the heart of it, I think there's this increasing authoritarian tendency these days, and that's not something I can really write about in The Economist, because it's not news. I think it's happening just slowly every day, and there's no specific incident I can really point to. So I wanted to do something more focused or in depth, and for Korean readers also. And so yeah, it was always in my mind to write something about this, but I never really had the opportunity before. I think it is. I think that if you look at things like surveys by Reporters Without Borders, this international press organization, they will say that the Korean press has consistently been losing its freedom, if you like, to report. And there are lots of restrictions now on using the internet and expressing yourself online. I think also the mainstream media, as there is this problem of advertising, it's actually getting worse as well, because these days a lot of advertising budgets are going to like Naver or Google, these kind of companies. So even big media organizations are to some extent slaves to the advertisers, and so there's a real problem with press freedom, I think, and at the same time I think that there's no effective opposition to this sort of mainstream, like this Henry당 and 대기업-led order in Korea. I think that the political opposition to any of this is either either too far away from the center to win, or is just too disorganized. So like Saejongyeon, I think everyone knows, is a terribly disorganized party. And considering what happened in 2014, there were so many incidents of corruption or scandal, or even as 세월호 사건. These are all things that make the government look really awful, and yet Saejongyeon still cannot win. And if you can't win a by-election in the aftermath of that, then you'll never win, I think. Of course, there are many reasons why that's the case. But anyway, I do worry that I think in the next 5 or 10 years, if there's no recovery of opposition, I think then there will be a great opportunity for the government to exist as a government for the next 30 or 50 years, like in Japan. I think there's not much kind of real ideology or philosophy. I think you essentially have two tribes, and they are based on either allegiance or respect for Park Chung-hee or opposition to him, and then their descendants. And of course there is a regional aspect to that as well, but basically I think that these are groups of people who are mutually hostile but actually don't have a reason for being hostile other than their mutual history. And it would be good, I think, if there were a genuinely conservative party or a genuinely left-wing party. But I don't think either exists right now. Probably because it's so disappointing, right? I don't really know many people who genuinely like the government, but also I don't know anybody who likes the main opposition party either. And if you see no opportunity for something better or something different, then maybe you just give up. I think when Antosu came up the first time, there was a lot of excitement. But of course, in the end, it was shown that he wasn't really any different to anybody else, and he became a normal politician. And I guess that also disappointed a lot of people. But yeah, overall, I think there's no sense of there's somebody or something or some idea that can make a change, and so you just give up, I think. Well, my own proposal is that I think people, instead of going to a talk concert or something like that, I think they should meet in their local communities and actually talk between themselves and share ideas, and so have a kind of cafe debating type society. And then those groups can organize. So for example, there's a comedian in Italy called Beppe Grillo. He started a group called M5S, this 오성운동, and he was a famous guy in Italy, and he said to people one day, why don't you form a group in your community, and then after that we'll put those groups together and we can use the internet to vote what is our opinion on this, what is our opinion on that, and in the end we make a movement and then a political party. And that actually was extremely successful in Italy, and it's the second most popular political party in the country now. And it's really, I think, made quite a difference in Italian politics. Now, it's not like a wonderful party or the best, kind of solution, but I think in the context of Korea, I think it would cause a radical shock to the mainstream if such a movement existed, and it would force them to change. A lot of different things. I'm doing this. Also, I'm actually in London. I'm living in London now. I'm running a business. It's a media company that uses crowdfunding to pay the journalist. So it's also a little bit driven by this sort of, like openness and democracy kind of orientation. A bit like what I'm trying to suggest for politics. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and so I've been away from Korea 7 months, almost 8 months, I think now. And I miss Korea a lot, all the time. But anyway, I'm running my business and trying to live quietly, I guess.